Minnesota, in the lower regions of the high country. In the middle of Lake Saldebane, Boris Badenov and his partner Natasha were enjoying the tranquility of unspoiled nature, the warm sunshine, the fresh air.
Boris, why you're coughing?
I'm used to breathing good old city smog, Natasha. This fresh air is killing me.
Then why we're here in this silly boat?
It's not a silly boat, it's a glass-bottom boat.
Sounds pretty silly to me.
Look down there, Natasha. What do you see?
I see funny-looking nose, little mustache. Looks very familiar.
It should. That's my reflection. I forgot to clean the glass. Wait. There. Now what do you see?
I see great big X.
Aha! We are in the right spot.
Right spot?
Of course. Look here at this treasure map. X marks it the spot.
Treasure map?
This is map showing the lost treasure of Montezuma.
You mean Montezuma, old Aztec Indian?
No, Montezuma, the big race car driver.
Was he rich?
Was he rich? Just ask me.
Okay, was he rich?
Rich enough to bury a treasure at the bottom of this lake, that's all, honey bun.
Yeah, but how do we get it?
Easy. We blow up the dam and let the water run out.
But if we blow up dam, water will rush down on innocent people in Frostbite Falls.
True, true.
Oh, Boris, you are mean, sneaking, no good Nick.
I know. Mr. Wonderful, that's I'm...
And so the two villains prepared to blow up the dam, never remembering that our heroes, Bullwinkle and Rocky, always arrive in the ta-da nick of time.
Don't be silly. I want them to arrive in the ta-da nick of time.
You do?
And I'm ready. Observe. World's only patented Dreamsville moose horn.
Dreamsville Moosehorn.
Sure, when I blow it, moose will forget about everything else in the world.
Including dynamite.
Right. Bullwinkle really digs that crazy cool Northwood sound.
But what about Squirrel?
For him, I got a gun.
Just plain gun?
Look, I can't be tricky all the time. I got other things to think about. Now let's put dynamite on them.
Meanwhile, not too far away as the crow flies,
That's me.
were Bullwinkle and Rocky, charter members of the Frostbite Falls Bird Watching and Pinochle Society.
Unfortunately, today's the day for bird watching.
Put down one crow, Bullwinkle.
One crow.
You spell that with a C, friend.
Oh, thanks.
No E on the end.
Get out of here, you smart aleck crow.
Bullwinkle, that's one of our little feathered friends.
Friends, my eye. I joined the club to watch 'em. I don't have to like 'em.
Well, here, it's your turn to take the glasses. I'll write down all the birds you see.
Okay, let's see. One tufted titmouse.
Check,
One black-capped chickadee.
check,
No, chick.
check, check.
Chickadee?
No, check.
Forget it. Put down robin redbreast.
Okay.
One yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Check.
No, cross that out. I can't stand a coward.
Oh, come on, Bullwinkle.
All right. Say, there's a big-nosed fuse lighter.
A big-nosed fuse lighter, male or female?
There's one of each.
Let me see those glasses. Bullwinkle, those are saboteurs.
One or two bees.
We gotta stop them.
And desert my bird-watching post. Never.
And Bullwinkle, our hero, mind you, refused to move. While on the dam, the fuse burns shorter and shorter.
This is more important than bird watching, Bullwinkle. If they blow up the dam, think of what'll happen to all those poor people in Frostbite Falls.
Those poor people will get mighty soggy.
Well, let's go.
Not so fast, Rock. We're the heroes, remember?
So?
The heroes always arrive in the ta-da nick of time. I don't want to show up early and spoil the suspense.
And I don't want to show up late and get blown up.
You got a point there. Heck with the suspense. Let's go!
But what Bullwinkle and Rocky didn't know was that Boris Badenov was waiting for them with not one but two weapons, a Dreamsville moose horn and a squirrel gun.
I blow moose horn and moose forgets all about dynamite until kaboom!
And what about Squirrel? He also get kaboom.
No, for him is pum pum with squirrel gun.
And so as Bullwinkle and Rocky dashed under the dam and reached for the fuse, Boris raised the fatal Dreamsville moose horn to his lips and
the one and the two and...
Boris. Boris.
Natasha, I think I've lost my lip.
I think you got a duck horn instead of a moose horn.
Could be you're right. Kinda crazy sound, though.
Real cool, Daddy-O, but it doesn't stop moose and squirrel.
Don't worry, I still got squirrel gun.
So use it.
Okay, ready, aim, fire. What's that?
Boris, we forgot. There's no violence allowed on television anymore. Well, Bullwinkle, we did it. We arrived in the ta-da nick of time.
We always arrive in the ta-da nick of time. the today nick of time.
You said that.
I know, I just love to go today.
Well, all is lost, Natasha. Might as well throw away the treasure map.
Why not just pull the plug at the bottom of lake?
Pull the plug?
Yes, look.
Raskolnikov!
Sure enough, the treasure map indicated a large plug at the bottom of Saldabane Lake.
See, the chain leads to this float in the middle of the lake.
So a little later, Boris was at the float and tugging at the chain that would empty the lake and reveal the lost treasure of Montezuma. A little later, he was still tugging. Much later, he was still tugging.
Oh, boy, this thing is heavy. We need someone to help us.
But who?
Gee, I wonder what happened to the saboteurs who were trying to blow up the dam.
Well, they wouldn't hang around.
Help! SOS, help!
What's that?
Sounds like somebody in trouble on the lake. Come on!
And within a few minutes, Bullwinkle had splashed his way to the side of Boris's boat.
What's all the trouble?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Spencer Traceback, the famous actor.
Yeah! I saw you in that picture about the old man fighting with a great big fish. Keen picture.
Thanks, kid. But I got a fish here that's even bigger and I need help to drag it in.
Well, I'm your man.
Moose.
Yeah, Moose.
And Bullwinkle began pulling on the chain, which would pull the plug, which would empty the lake, which would uncover the treasure, which would...
Mister, you got a bad case of which wood's there.
I know. Anyway, be with us next time for A Leak in the Lake or The Drain Maker.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was called Red Riding Hood because because she was, that's why. Anyway, one day she was going through the woods to Grandma's house to sell her a membership in the PTA. As she went, she sang a song.
La 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 la.
That's not much of a song.
Well, I'm not much of a singer. La 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 la.
Now, although Red didn't know it, on the path up ahead, a wolf was waiting to
I hereby swear that I'll be good. I will not eat a Riding Hood.
Well, what's all this?
I just joined Riding Hoods Anonymous.
What?
I'm trying to kick the Riding Hood habit.
La 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 la.
When you see a Riding Hood, greet her as a friend you should. Hello, Red Riding Hood!
Oh, wolf, wolf, wolf!
When you are misunderstood, extend your hand to Riding Hood. Put her there, pal! Now wait! Really, Red? I'm a new wolf. I sworn off Riding Hoods. See? Words of courage and hope to Riding Hood eaters.
Is this on the level, Wolf?
Sure! Listen here. Stick with your promise not to eat. Fight that urge for a Riding Hood treat.
If you're really my friend, you'll buy a PTA membership.
I'll take a dozen. I'll even deliver your basket for you. Where's it go?
To Grandma's. It's a basket full of goodies. Sorry about that. That was my special wolf basket. Here's another one.
Okay.
And the wolf set off towards Grandma's house.
I'm going to see your grandma. I'm going to see you.
But just then, a thought crossed his mind.
Let me see here. Just as I thought. Though Riding Hoods you may not munch, there's nothing wrong with a grandma lunch. Yeah. I'm going to eat the grandma. I'm going to eat the grandma.
But when Grandma heard the wolf coming,
Hey, you know what, Grandma? I'm going to eat you right after I give you this basket of goodies.
Young man, you dropped your basket. Well, isn't this interesting?
You ready for lunch now, Grandma?
Oh, but you've made a mistake. I'm not a grandma. I'm a riding hood. That's a grandma.
If you're a Riding Hood, where were your PTA tickets?
Riding hoods don't sell PTA tickets. They sell DAR tickets.
DAR?
Yes, Daughters of American Riding Hoods.
They do?
How many?
I'll take a dozen.
Good.
Now to get that doggone grandma in the woods.
Fine. Here's a nice basket of goodies for her.
I'm going to eat the grandma. I'm going to eat the grandma. Hey, Grandma, you told me a fib.
I did.
Yeah, you want a riding hood? I just saw a real riding hood, and she sent you this basket of goodies.
Look, Wolf, right here in your own book, see? That's a grandma.
Grandmas, you can tell afar. They belong to D.A.R. Oh, darn her.
And the wolf sped back to Grandma's house.
Let's see now. When the grandmas claim their riding hoods, be a photographer in the woods.
Yes?
Good morning, madam. If you are a riding hood, you can have your picture taken with a real Shetland pony. Free!
Sorry, I'm a grandma.
I knew it. Your time is up.
You're right. Every second counts.
Yeah, it does.
You've got to get these dispatches to the front. You're the only one with a horse. Carry on!
Trust me, Colonel.
Did the wolf get here yet, Grandma?
Oh, he's been and gone 2 times, child. I just sent him off with a package of goodies.
Well, I guess he won't bother us anymore, and...
You know, I've decided to quit Riding Hoods Anonymous. I'm gonna eat both of you.
Now, remember, I pledge, I will not eat. One riding hood can spell defeat. Run! Every day in every way, I am not eating riding hoods. Run!
Red Riding Hood and our grandmother dashed out of the house just one jump ahead of the wolf. Well, it looks as if nobody lived happily ever after.
I did.
You did.
Sure, I got to be a member of the PTA and a member of the DAR. And besides, I got these 200 baskets full of...
Yeah, goodies. Well, I was right. Nobody lived happily ever after.
Now, it's time to get back to our story.
In the last episode, Bullwinkle and Boris were trying to pull the plug out of the bottom of Lake Saldebane. The reason is that at the bottom of the lake, in this waterproof casing, lies the treasure of Montezuma.
Yes, and I'm going to get it back, or my name isn't, what's his name? Spencer Traceback.
Of course, Bullwinkle thought he was helping Spencer trace back the actor dragging a big fish.
Just like in the movies. Boy, he must be a whopper.
No, he's a bluefin toonie.
That anything like a piano toonie?
But before Boris could answer with still another tired joke, the plug pulled loose and the water began to rush out of the lake.
Uh-oh, I think we lost him. And small wonder you're not using a hook.
It must have fallen off. Well, I guess it's back to the salt mines. If someone would only dive down and find the hook.
See, why don't I do it, Mr. Traceback?
Oh, I couldn't think of asking you to do a thing like that.
Then why are you pushing me?
But if you insist...
And Bullwinkle suddenly found himself in the water.
Boris, if he dives down, he will find treasure.
He'll also find the hole that's draining the lake.
Sure enough, far beneath the water, Bullwinkle was struggling against the pull of the water, running out of the hole at the bottom of the lake. Fortunately, his plight had not gone unseen.
Hold on, Bullwinkle, I'm coming.
And Rocky, that plucky squirrel, launched himself into a fancy swan dive. But as luck would have it, at that moment, the last of the water drained out of the lake. There was Rocky, out like a light. Boris and Natasha free to get the treasure, and Bullwinkle Moose... Oh, well, good heavens, where is he?
Right down there, Poopsie.
Yes, our hero had disappeared down the drain.
Right.
But, gee, that means that there are no good guys left.
Funny how that works out. Come on, Natasha.
And with no one to stop them, the two villains went directly to the huge waterproof casing that shielded the treasure of Montezuma. Fortunately, the waterproof casing turned out to be villain-proof, too.
Hold it, Natasha. I'm bushed. If I got to work this hard to get rich, I might as well get a job.
Oh, Boris, what you said.
Meanwhile, Rocky had come to his senses and was standing beside the hole where Bullwinkle had been pulled from sight.
There's only one thing to do. I gotta fly down there after him.
And adjusting his goggles, the plucky squirrel zoomed down into the hole.
Oh, such loyalty, Boris. It kind of gets you right here.
Yes, Natasha, and I'm going to do something about it, too.
What?
I'm going to plug up the hole.
And the wily Boris slammed the plug back into place and stamped it down tight, trapping our heroes far underground where they were zooming through the water supply system of Frostbite Falls. Our scene now changes rather abruptly to the interior of an apartment house in the suburbs of Frostbite Falls, where Nellie was a lady last night she died, told the bell for... Oh, rats, what happened to the hot water? Hey, Silver, let's have some hot water
forgot all there is. Turn the tap on all the way.
Oh, very well. Nellie was a lady last night. Toll the bell for lovely Nell, my sweet Virginie bride. Oh, for cry, it's a monster.
No, I'm more of a second tenor.
How'd you get in there?
Never mind that. The real question is, how am I gonna get out?
Yes, Bullwinkle was jammed into a bend in the water pipe, and what's more, it was a hot water pipe.
Yeah, I'm getting the world's first instant hot foot.
Fortunately, the irate citizens spun the tap wide open, shooting Bullwinkle out of the pipe entirely.
Thanks a mill, friend.
But you're over 6 feet tall. How could you get through a little skinny water pipe?
I held my breath.
Superintendent, help!
Well, if they're gonna act like that, goodbye.
Now, what's the matter? What's the matter? You got enough hot water, haven't you?
I just found a moose in my shower.
A mouse in your shower?
Not a mouse, a moose!
Maybe you want to switch to cold showers for a while. I never heard of anything so...
Hey, either of you ladies seen a moose go by here?
Ladies!
That way.
Thanks.
Do you realize that a squirrel just came out of the shower, called us ladies, and acted as if a moose went by?
And there's a good reason for it.
What?
His goggles were all steamed up.
Oh.
It was true. With his goggles all foggy, Rocky walked right past Bullwinkle without even seeing him.
Hey, Rocky!
Bullwinkle, is that you?
It was when I got up this morning.
I must be getting nearsighted. You sure look fuzzy.
Well, let's face it, Rock. I am fuzzy.
Meanwhile, at the dry lake bottom, Boris and Natasha were still trying to break into the enormous treasure chest.
Oh, it's no use, Boris. We can't do it.
Well, I guess we'll have to use a Pennsylvania persuader.
A Pennsylvania persuader, what's that?
2 pounds TNT in a 1 pound bag with instructions.
Oh,
Let's see. Instructions say, place bag next to object to be persuaded.
check,
Light fuse.
check.
Then it says, caution, this persuader has...
Has what?
Just a minute, it's in small print. Oh, caution, this persuader has... a quick burning fuse.
But though the explosive did a good job on Boris and Natasha, it didn't faze the treasure of Montezuma.
Perhaps we should ask ourselves, Natasha, is it worth all the effort? Is a cheesy $1 million treasure worth getting blown up for? Is $1 million really that important? Is money everything?
I give up, darling, is it?
You bet it is. Get back to work.
But unbeknownst to the two eager villains, our heroes were dashing to the scene of the crime.
Why are we dashing thusly?
Because the criminal always returns to the scene of the crime.
I don't want to destroy your childlike faith, Rock, but we're not the criminal.
No, but when the real criminals do return to the scene of the crime, we'll catch them red-handed. Do you follow me?
I have to. We're on the same bicycle.
Meanwhile, the wily Boris had rigged up a primitive block and tackle and dragged the enormous treasure chest to a high bluff overlooking the dry lake.
Now, as soon as we cut the cable, chest drops down onto those rocks, splits wide open.
And?
Happy days are here again. Hey!
Well, as luck would have it, our heroes chose that moment to pedal their bicycle across the bottom of the dry lake and right under the enormous chest.
Natasha, do my eyes deceive me?
They wouldn't dare.
It's fantastical. We get to open up treasure chest and shut up moose and squirrel at the same time.
Oh, you're such a lucky schnook.
Well, you know what I always say. Somebody down there likes me.
And Boris prepared to snip the cable and send the treasure chest hurtling down on our heroes. Don't miss our next rather unpleasant episode, Boris Bashes a Box, or The Flat Chest.
Hello there. Today's poem is called...
Hey, Moose, how come you always read poetry?
Well, it's my part of the
You
show.
think you are the only one with soul?
You want to read a poem?
Certainly. Today's poem got the title, How to Be Happy Though Miserable.
But...
Are you almost disgusted with life, little man?
But...
I'll tell you a wonderful trick. That brings you contentment, if anything can.
Give me...
Do something to somebody quick.
Oh!
Though it rains like the rain of the flood, little man, and the clouds are forbidding and thick, you can make the sun shine on your soul, little man. Do something to somebody quick.
Oops! But you got the words wrong. It says do something for somebody, not to 'em.
Well, after all, in poetry is not the word so much, is the thought that counts.
No,
Back to Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, darlings.
Well, the treasure of Montezuma may be worth $1 million, but it doesn't look as if anybody's going to collect it. For the enormous treasure chest has so far resisted the efforts of Boris and Natasha to pry it open, chop it open, even blow it open.
Let's face it, Boris, we need a safecracker.
We got a safecracker.
Whom?
Meme, that's whom.
Boris, you know how to crack a safe.
Sure, Mike. You just lift the safe up in the air like this, and when you cut the cable...
Yes?
Crack!
Oh, that's straight thinking, darling.
And for me, straight thinking is tough.
Why?
I got a crooked mind.
Well, as luck would have it, our heroes chose that moment to pedal their bicycle bill for two right under the hanging chest.
Gee, I don't see any sign of those two spies, Bullwinkle.
What spies are those, Rock?
The spies who drained this lake.
This is a lake?
Oh, boy, have you forgotten the plot again?
In a word, you said it.
That's 3 words.
I'm a heavy tipper. Now, what's the plot?
Here, I'll draw you a picture.
And all unaware of the frightful fate hanging over their heads, Rocky began to draw pictures to bring Bullwinkle up to date on our story.
We were bird watching, remember?
Yeah.
We saw 2 spies ready to blow up the dam.
Yeah.
We put out the fuse.
Good for us.
One of them disguised himself as an actor named Spencer Traceback.
My favorite.
Then he slickered you into pulling a big plug out of the bottom of the lake.
Shame, shame.
Revealing a big treasure chest.
This is the exciting part.
And we went down the drain together.
Wowie!
And now we're back here looking for the 2 spies.
Well, that is a dandy... Hey, what did you draw above us there?
That's the treasure chest that's hanging over our yike.
Hanging over our yike? That's an odd place to...
Bullwinkle, out of the way!
I can't, Rock. Something happened. I can't move.
Go on, Boris, cut the rope.
I'm trying.
What's the matter?
The snippers must be down.
Here, darling, try this.
What is it?
Is my switchblade nail file.
And Boris leaped on top of the chest and began sawing at the rope.
Run, Bullwinkle!
I can't. I must be froze with fear.
No, you're not. You're standing on your own foot.
Doesn't everybody?
I mean, your right foot is standing on your left foot.
Oh, okay. Break it up down there.
And our heroes dashed out of the way just as the rope let go.
Good work, Boris.
But unfortunately for Boris, he'd forgotten he was still on top of the chest. And what's more, as it fell, the chest turned over so Boris was underneath it.
Don't worry, darling. Remember, this is just cartoon. Boris, are you all right?
Natasha, I just found out what happens when a cartoon chest falls on a cartoon character.
What?
It hurts.
And what's more, darling?
What could be what's more?
The chest still isn't open.
Fooey and double fooey.
That voice, Bullwinkle. Where have I heard that voice?
I heard something like it once when I dropped the chicken bone in the garbage disposal.
That does it, Natasha. Come on. We're going to get an A-bomb.
A-bomb?
A-bomb, come on.
Did you hear that, Bullwinkle?
Sure, they repeated it twice.
Do you know what A-bomb means?
Certainly. A-bomb is what some people call our program.
I don't think that's so funny.
Neither do they, apparently.
And while our heroes engage in airy persiflage, the 2 villains are on their way. Don't miss our next explosive episode, 1, 2, 3, Gone, or I've Got Plenty of Nothing.
Hello again, Peabody here. Standing over by the Wayback Machine is my pet boy, Sherman.
Where are we going today, Mr. Peabody?
To the island of Juan Fernandez, 400 miles off the coast of Chile.
The year?
1686. A fateful year in the life of the loneliest man in history. Robinson Crusoe. The ever-reliable Wayback transported Sherman and me to the tiny island, a mere pinpoint of the vast Pacific. Instead of being deserted, however, the beach was swarming with humanity.
What does it mean, Mr. Peabody?
Obviously, Sherman, the island has become a first-class attraction for tourists.
Welcome, friends, to Juan Fernandez State Beach. Like to purchase a one-room cabana on the edge of the water?
Are we to understand you're selling real estate here?
That's right. Here, take a look at the brochure.
Balloons, Mr. Peabody. Look at them.
I glanced skyward just as they floated over.
Pay no attention to them. That's just another one of Robinson Crusoe's bombardments. He don't appreciate what we're doing to the island, so he attacks us every afternoon at 3.
With balloons?
Yeah, he ran out of cannonballs last week. Balloons is better than nothing.
we decided to forego any land investments and look for Robinson Crusoe. We found him on the other side of the island, gearing for an all-out assault.
Blow up a few more of those red balloons, Friday. They look more capable than the others.
Mr. Crusoe, we came to see if we couldn't be of some assistance.
Fine. Grab some balloons and start blowing.
We had something else in mind.
Such as?
Such as living in harmony with your neighbors.
This island belongs to me and Friday.
Oh, that's all well and good, but we must live and let live.
Mister, you don't know what it's like on the holidays. Tourists all over the place.
Yes, but suppose we divide the island in two. You stay on your half, they stay on theirs.
Tell you what, I'll sleep on it.
We all slept on it, and the next morning...
Well, boys, what do you think of Desert Island Estates?
Gosh, Mr. Peabody, while we were sleeping, they built homes.
How about a nice 20-bedroom colonial? You a vet?
Never mind that. I was under the impression all of the land development would take place on the other side of the island.
Oh, no. We're building everywhere.
Wait till Mr. Crusoe hears about this.
Crusoe? Shucks, he just left. He knows all about it.
Quick, Sherman, we must catch him.
Ain't no use, Mr. Peabody. What's been done has been done.
Yes, but what's been done?
That beach full of tourists. Me and Friday stuck coconuts under the sand. Coconuts filled with gunpowder. Soon as the sun warms up...
You can't do it, Mr. Crusoe. Somebody's liable to get hurt.
Oh, never thought of that.
Tell us where you buried them. We'll dig them up.
Sure. Well, let me see.
The sun rose higher in the sky as Robinson Crusoe tried to collect his thoughts.
It's getting awfully warm, Mr. Peabody.
I wish we could say the same for Crusoe. Oh, well, we'll just have to dig the entire beach up.
The four of us? That would take all day.
That's absolutely correct, folks. The lucky coconut is buried somewhere on this strip of sand. The person who digs it up will not only get to keep the sand he's dug up, but the hole as well. All right, start digging. 15 minutes later, Robinson Crusoe's homemade bombs were all cast into the sea.
Phew, in the nick of time, Mr. Peabody.
Yes, but there's still the problem of splitting the island.
Of course. Tell me, do you have an almanac handy?
Always carry one.
Good. Turn to page 324 and look up the date, July 15th.
Yes, here it is. Today is a big day for Geminis. There will be a moderate earthquake in the morning.
Just as I thought. All right, Robinson, kindly adjourn to your half of the island.
There's going to be an earthquake, Mr. Peabody?
A minor one, Sherman, and one that will settle everything. At precisely 10:31 a.m., an earth tremor shook the island of Juan Fernandez. And its reaction, it split the island in two.
Well, there he goes.
Yes, he'll have all the privacy he wants now.
Oh, my gosh, Mr. Peabody, look.
There, gazing despondently at his disappearing master, sat Friday.
Friday's been left behind.
A bad stroke of fortune, Sherman, but I'm afraid it had to be.
But why?
Well, you see, prior to this one, Robinson Crusoe had 12 other Man Fridays.
But why should this one be so unlucky?
Friday the 13th is always unlucky.
Hokey smoke! Let's see what's going to happen next.
Well, Boris tried to drop the treasure of Montezuma on our heroes, but wound up hoist with his own petard. Meanwhile...
Hold that! What means this hoist with my own, what's this?
It means you fell into your own trap.
Oh, well, why didn't you said so? Okay, let's go.
Finally, in desperation, he and Natasha set out to find an A-bomb to blow up the chest.
Gee, that must be a pretty valuable treasure, Bullwinkle.
Big, anyway.
Maybe we could get that chest open.
Well...
Of course, those spies tried hammering it and chopping it, blowing it up, dropping it off a cliff.
Well...
So how can we open it?
Well...
What do you think, Bullwinkle?
Well...
What's your considered opinion?
If you'd stop talking, I'll tell you.
Well, I was just trying to build up a little suspense.
Why don't we just try turning the key?
The key?
Yes, right there in plain sight was a key. And when Bullwinkle turned it, the entire box flopped open, revealing at last the treasure of Montezuma.
Whoa! A 1903 Apperson jackrabbit.
That's a treasure.
Isn't it, though?
I must say I'm disappointed.
Well, then go ahead.
What?
Say it.
Okay, I'm disappointed.
And I'm Bullwinkle.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess the only thing we can do is drive it into town and turn it over.
What?
To the authorities.
Oh.
How do we start it?
Well, it says right here on the instruction sheet. Let's see. Stand in front of machine, seize crank, spin crank sharply. First, making sure car is out of gear. Hey, Rock, wait up!
And so when Boris and Natasha returned to the scene...
We couldn't find an A-bomb, not even a war surplus one.
Boris, look! Somebody beat us to the treasure.
Raskolnikov!
But at that moment, Boris's sharp eyes spotted the instruction sheet that Bullwinkle had dropped. I say, at that moment, Boris's sharp eyes had spotted the...
I heard you.
Well?
I can't see it anywhere.
It's right under your nose.
You crazy, it's nowhere inside.
Boris, darling.
Invisible ink I can find.
Boris.
Invisible papers, no.
Darling.
What is it, Natasha?
You are sitting on it.
Oh. You said it was under my nose.
Sorry.
What does it say?
It says the treasure was really just an old car. Oh, boy. Lucky we got a regular job to fall back on.
What's that?
Breaking windows at the UN building. Let's go.
Oh, if those two villains had only seen the license plate of that car, they would...
What? What's that whispering? What was that?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
We got ways of finding out, you know.
Ways of... How?
Easy. We run program backwards and forwards again. Like this.
Oh, if those two villains had only seen the license plate of that car...
That's what you said. Natasha, what's with the license plate?
It's only a number, Boris.
What number?
14K.
14K. What? 14 carat? Natasha, 14 carat. That car is solid gold. Come on.
Oh, what have I done?
You have just signed death warrant for Moose, darling.
Oh, dear.
And stretch the whole plot out for 2 more episodes.
And we'll see one of them next time called All That Glitters, or Baby, It's Gold Outside.
And now for all you co-eds who wish to become scholars, here's Mr. Know-It-All.
Hello out there, scholarly maids. Today's subject is how to get into the movies without buying a ticket. The first approach is to go directly to the manager and say, "Where's my pass?" Unruffled by that minor setback, we try phase 2, which involves a disguise. Hello there, I'm Flo Ziegfeld. How's my show going tonight? Phase 3. Seeking out the location of the freight elevator, we then proceed down into the basement, where we shall then proceed up to the balcony. That's the deepest basement I ever saw.
Is gate-crashing Moose again?
Hello, Mr. Theater Manager. I should like to apply for a job as a usher.
What experience you got?
I've been in the dark most of my life.
Is good enough. Course, job don't pay much.
How much?
Bag of popcorn and all ticket stubs you can find.
It's a deal! Donning the usherette's uniform, we then proceed to our post in the mezzanine. Going through a door, we find ourselves... Oop. Wrong door. Hello, Mr. Theater Manager. I took the wrong...
Where's your ticket?
I don't need a ticket. I'm your new usher.
Don't need no new usher. Just hired new usher.
That did it. I wouldn't go in that theater if they gave me the place.
Why not?
I just happened to notice. I've seen this picture 3 times already.
Now, back to Moose and Squirrel.
Last time, you remember, Bullwinkle Moose outsmarted us all by finding a way to get into the treasure chest of Montezoom.
Leave us turn the key.
Hokey smoke, it's just an old car.
Just an old car indeed. This here is a genuine 1903 Apperson Jackrabbit.
How do you know?
It said so in the last episode.
Our heroes decided to donate the car to the Frostbite Falls Museum and drove it away. But when Boris and Natasha spotted the license plate...
It says 14K, darling. Do you think...
I don't have to think, Natasha. I know. This is a 14-carat solid gold automobile.
Let's face it, Boris. These Americans really know how to live.
Come on, Natasha. Let's take the shortcut. We're about to go into the used car business.
On purpose?
And so a little later, as our boys rounded a turn, a strange sight met their eyes.
Madman Morris, the laughing Latvian, used cars.
Well, we might as well stop.
How come?
Madman Morris has put up a roadblock.
It was true, an enormous tree trunk lay right across their path.
Well, ho, ho, ho! Howdy, friends and neighbors.
That must be Madman Morris himself.
Are you the laughing Latvian?
You were expecting the angry Afghan?
Can we get by here?
Certainly. The best buy in these parts. A late model Oscillate.
An Oscil 8?
And I can make you an unbelievable offer on this junk pile you're driving.
Yeah, but we're not...
$26 and that's top money. Take it or leave it. Without the fender, $25.
You were right. It's unbelievable.
Sounds pretty good, Rock.
Bullwinkle, we were going to give this car to the museum.
For $26. That's antihistamine money, you know.
Antihistamine money?
It's not to be sneezed at.
Yeah, but we promised...
You get it, Rock? Not to be sneezed at.
Bullwinkle.
Little medical-type joke I threw in there. You get it?
I got it.
Thousands won't.
You said it. Well, is it a deal?
How much is the Oscil 8?
Never you mind about the price. I don't want you to clutter your little furry head with a lot numbers.
That's kind.
Just sign here, easy payments for next 20 years.
What's it say way down here?
Don't read the fine print. You want to ruin those beautiful blue eyes?
They are kind of limpid pools, aren't they?
Is the car in good condition, Mr. Morris?
Of course, only one owner. A little old lady in Pennsylvania.
Hey, isn't that Pasadena?
Far from it, darling.
And she only used it on Sundays, didn't you, Granny?
That's right, darling. Ba-ba-boom.
You're the little old lady who drove this car?
Actually, I didn't drive it, darling. I used to sit in it and listen to the radio. Boom, boom.
The radio?
AM?
AM and PM. Oh, I love that Merton Marge.
Easy, Granny, you're dating yourself.
Boom, boom, darling.
So how's about it?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, you've driven me to the wall. I surrender. Have no mercy on me.
All right.
I'll pay you $30 cash as is.
Wowee!
And I throw in 2 all-day suckers.
Sensation!
See what you can do if you know how to bargain, Bullwinkle?
Lucky you got a good head on you, Rock.
Yeah.
Or you'd have to wear your hat on your neck.
And in a twinkling, the papers had been signed, and Boris and Natasha drove off in our hero's 1903 Epperson Jackrabbit.
Hey, Madman Morris, wait a minute. You forgot something.
Yeah, where's the 2 suckers?
Well, the answer to that is so obvious we won't even wait around for it. But be with us next time for Boris Wheels and Deals or A Profit Without Honor.
At the close of the 19th century, Canada was overrun with Canadians and smugglers. The best Canadian, but the worst smuggler was Snidely Whiplash. Whiplash and his band of smugglers were traveling through Canada as a band of musicians. Unfortunately, his music was very bad.
Of course it's bad. Not only are my boys tone deaf, but their instruments are filled with stolen furs.
Yes, that was how the arch-criminal smuggled furs out of Canada. But like all lawbreakers, he had yet to reckon with the mounted police. You are looking at the pride of that noble force, our hero, Dudley Do-Right. And this is Dudley Do-Right's horse. The apple of Dudley's eye was the beautiful yet unpredictable Nell Fenwick. Dudley loved Nell. Unfortunately, she loved his horse.
But, Nell, why won't you marry me?
Because you are too good, Dudley.
For you, Nell, I would rotten up.
The Mountie Post was under the command of Inspector Fenwick, Nell's father.
Send Constable Do-Right in here and tell him to hurry.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, I did, Do-Right. Snidely Whiplash is attempting to smuggle furs over the border into the United States. I shall need an undercover man to join him and expose his evil plan.
Let's send Nell, sir.
My daughter, no, Do-Right. We have to send a mounted.
Then you go, sir.
I have to watch the store. You're the man, Do-Right.
But, Inspector, my reputation, Whiplash would never let me join him.
Yes, your record is spotless. We shall have to dirty it somewhat. Here's my plan. You shall commit a disgraceful act, get thrown out of the service, and become a bad guy.
Thus it was that 1 hour later, Constable Dudley Do-Right, the man who could do no wrong, set fire to the Alberta Hotel.
Do-Right, are you responsible for this Holocaust?
Why, yes, I am.
Well, congratulations, my boy. This hotel was condemned last year, and we've been wondering how to tear it down. You'll be decorated for this.
Do right, you idiot. Don't do right, do wrong.
The dam! Somebody blew up the dam! would you mind holding this plunger until the police get here and arrest me?
Constable Do-Right has already admitted that it was he who dynamited the dam. Yes, in one brilliant stroke, the problem of irrigating our valley has been solved.
Do-Right, have you ever been assassinated?
But, Inspector, I have been trying.
Well, then don't try.
And that did the trick. At mess that evening, Dudley ate his peas with a knife, something no Mountie would ever do, and consequently was drummed out of the service with a dishonorable discharge.
Do-Right, you're a disgrace to your underwear. Good work, my boy. Now join up with Snidely Whiplash.
Farewell, Nell. Perhaps we'll meet again.
But, Dudley, why must your horse go with you? After all, you ate the peas.
Yes, but with his knife. Adios, Nell.
1 week later in a border town ballroom.
So you're a musician, eh?
Yes.
Can you read music?
No.
You're hired.
Dudley brought out an alpine horn and proceeded to captivate the audience. But during the 33rd chorus of Wabash Cannonball, the tuba player started spraying furs all over the bandstand.
Whiplash, the jig is up. You are under arrest. Drop that tuba.
And the tuba player did on Dudley.
In exactly 5 minutes, Do-Right, my men, the Furs, and I will be safely across the border. You too will be crossing the border at a much higher altitude.
4 minutes and 59 seconds later, Snidely Whiplash and his men were about to set foot across the border when...
Halt! You are under arrest.
Egad, Do-Right, how did you escape?
I didn't, Whiplash. There are 2 of us. The one you left tied up back there in the shack was my horse, in a Dudley suit. And here he comes now! Good work, horse.
Good work, Do-Right. You not only saved the furs and captured the smugglers, but you got their ringleader, Snidely Whiplash.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Snidely, how did you escape?
There are 2 of us.
Have you got your horse's knife on you, Do-Right?
Yes, sir.
Then go eat peas. You've got to do it all over again.
Let's send Nell, sir.
We can't. She's not a Mountie.
Then you go.
Now, back to our adventure.
Well, in our last episode, Boris Badenov went into business as Madman Morris, a shady used car dealer. Of course, he only had one car on the lot, and that was made of cardboard.
When I say low overhead, folks, I mean low overhead.
In minutes, Boris had flim-flammed our heroes into buying a paper convertible and selling him their Epperson Jackrabbit. Of course, when Bullwinkle went to kick a tire on their new car...
Oh, my gosh!
Gee, I don't know my own strength.
Bullwinkle, this is a catastrophe.
It's supposed to be a convertible.
Meanwhile, the 2 villains had just crossed the bridge at Buzzard's Gulch.
Why were you stopping, Boris?
Did you see that charming wooden bridge we just passed?
What's so charming about the wooden bridge?
It burns, that's what.
And the crafty fiend set fire to his end of the bridge just as our heroes set foot on the other side.
Rocky, the bridge is on fire!
But if we stop now, they'll get away.
The situation poses a rather precise ethical dilemma fraught with portent, don't it?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I heard it on Meet the Press.
There's only one thing to do, Bullwinkle.
Get a dictionary!
No, I gotta fly through the fire.
You sure that's the only way, Rock?
No, but if you're gonna be a hero, you gotta do stupid things every once in a while.
Okay, ready, Allie!
Oh!
And Bullwinkle flung Rocky right into the flames. Meanwhile, Boris and Natasha were in the office of a notorious receiver of stolen property.
I'm Andy Grift, your friendly neighborhood fence. You say you got a car made of gold?
You sir it. Here's a fender for you to test, Andy.
It don't look like gold.
It's painted. Underneath is 14 karat.
What's it worth, darling?
Well, offhand, I'd say at least...
Yes.
$2 even.
$2?
For a gold fender?
Gold my eye, that's 10.
10? Oh, boy.
No, you've done it again, Boris.
But I could swear.
Not on this program, darling. Face it. The car is worthless.
Not quite. We still need it.
For what?
To make getaway. Look up there.
Yike!
Yike, indeed, for high in the air, sand scorched, but every furry inch a hero was Rocky the Flying Squirrel. Now let's hear it out there for Rocky.
Thanks, folks.
Faster, Boris. He's gaining on us.
The car is too heavy, Natasha. We got to lighten it. Throw out everything loose.
Well, the 2 crooks threw out the spare tire, the headlights, the engine cover, the fenders, even the doors.
He's still gaining on us.
Open the trunk, Natasha. Maybe there's something heavy in there.
Boris' trunk is full of gold pieces.
and they're heavy. Get rid of them.
And Natasha began throwing away shovelfuls of gold coins.
It's working, darling. It's costing us $1 million, but we're gaining on it.
All that gold I can't watch.
And Boris covered his eyes. A rather serious mistake, for the car slewed around and headed right back to where it started from, the edge of Buzzard's Gulch.
Oop.
Boris, we're falling.
Raskolnikov, if those goody goods think they...
Boris, do me one favor before we hit.
Certainly, Poopsie.
Shut up your mouth!
Meanwhile, Rocky and Bullwinkle were examining a handful of gold coins.
Well, Bullwinkle, we got the treasure of Montezoom.
Shucks, I knew we would all along.
Huh?
Sure, in a cartoon, we always have a happy ending, you know. We walk off arm in arm into a cartoon sunset without a scratch on us that...
Gee, an unhappy ending.
Yeah, this must be one of those adult cartoons.
Well, we'll see about that. Probably next time in the further adventures of Bullwinkle.
Continue the fun. Build your own collection of The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yes, the spirit of Moose Mania is everywhere and has everyone running, riding, or rocketing to collect all 6 video volumes.
I see you got yours.
Yes, incredibly, there are 6 volumes in all.
Oh, boy, have you forgotten the plot again?
In a word, you said it.
That's 3 words.
I'm a heavy tipper.
More of Rocky and Bullwinkle's hilarious gang of outrageous comic characters. More of that misguided Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties. More of that dastardly duo, Boris and Natasha. And still more of those slightly askew, fractured fairy tales. Yes, for those who grew up watching them, for those who never outgrew them.
Yes, yes.
And for those who are growing to love them, what more could you possibly ask for than Mona Moose, Birth of Bullwinkle, Vincent Van Moose, Blue Moose, La Grande Moose, and Canadian Gothic. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Once you collect one, you'll just have to have them all.